I wanted to start by talking about some of these flood warnings. I know we just had Jennifer kind of rolling through some of the impacts that we're tracking with the Withlacoochee, and that is going to be our concern through the rest of this week. I was talking about it all weekend long, but we still have those very high water levels. So here are just a couple of spots that at this point we have the flood warnings in effect, and we are still dealing with those rising waters. And in some cases, right on through Friday, we're talking above flood stage, and in some cases, we're at record levels. The Hillsborough at Morris Bridge, we're currently right around 38 feet. That's several feet above flood stage and a couple above our record of about 34.7. Cypress Creek right now running at about 15 feet. Our flood stage hits at 8 feet, and the Withlacoochee right now we're kind of right around that 11-foot range. We're 2 feet over the flood stage, not quite in record territory, but expecting these waters to continue to climb. And in some cases through this week, we're still going to be dealing with those elevated water levels. You think about all of the water that comes in with the storm, and it takes a while for them to recede back down, especially in our creeks and some of our inlets and our waterways that kind of feed into the Gulf. And so as we check on highs yesterday, we've overall had some more refreshing feeling temperatures just in time for the weekend. After Helene rolled through, it really was so hot, so humid on the back end of that storm as folks were out trying to do their cleanup efforts. So at least humidity has been low, and temperature-wise, we topped out in the mid-80s for most of the area yesterday. Now, for today, kind of going to be similar. We're talking temperatures going to stay on the cooler side the next couple of hours. We've got upper 60s, low 70s, and then it's not until about noon where we break out into the low 80s here in Tampa, forecasting a high of 86 this afternoon, so pretty similar to where we hit yesterday. We've kind of been topping out right in that range the last couple of days. We do have some of that drier air as we look kind of higher up into the atmosphere, this brown and yellow color. That's all that drier air, and that's what we can thank for really the break in the humidity that we have had. And it's that time of the year where we're tracking some fronts swinging through, and so some even drier air set to arrive as we look ahead to Wednesday and Thursday. With that, we're talking pretty much rain-free conditions, so abundant sunshine expected today. We look all across the state and hardly any rain to talk about here. Best chance would be far South Florida, where we got a little bit more moisture to work with in those spots. But all that drier air up into the Panhandle, Central Florida keeps things quiet today. And really most of this week, we're talking about pretty quiet and comfortable weather. As for that drier air, look at the impact on dew points. 65 in Tampa right now, 61 Brooksville, and we even got some 50s as we look ahead to parts of the Big Bend and the Panhandle area. So overall, we keep these dew points really comfortable right on through the next couple of days. Then you can see that drier air that I was just talking about. We wake up on Thursday morning, dew points down into the 50s, and here's why. High pressure has been kind of keeping us under this quiet weather pattern, but then we're tracking this cold front, and as it kind of drops across the state, it's going to kind of drop in north to south. And so from Wednesday into Thursday, that's kind of the time frame where, even though it is going to be a dry front, look at the potential as we wake up on Thursday morning. That's going to be the coolest morning in the week ahead, with at this point it looks likely that a lot of our spots will be down to the 50s with low 60s elsewhere. I mean, so it's going to be chilly as we start out that day, with forecasts topping out in the upper 70s for a lot of spots. So there's a look at your high today, 86, pleasant light breezes with abundant sunshine, right around 69 for tonight. We've got 60s as we head inland and up to the Nature Coast, closer to the Bay Area, temperatures in the low 70s tonight. Tomorrow, we rinse and repeat it, another rain-free, low humidity type day, temperatures right around the mid-80s, and then come Wednesday, a couple more clouds around, a high of 79. Still, though, not a whole lot of rain, even with that front coming through.